Well, hello there folks, and welcome to video number 86. This video is on finding the equation using the graph. I'm introducing y equals mx plus c into this video to help you understand it a little bit further. The key words here are y-intercept, gradient, and y equals mx plus c. So the y-intercept value is where the graph, the equation of the line that's been graphed goes through the y-axis, okay, so the vertical axis. The gradient is how steep the line is, all right? Now, y equals mx plus c, you need to understand it. It's something you have to understand what it means. The y, all right, is representing the y coordinate value. Equals means is the same as. M represents the gradient. So whatever the gradient is, you take out the m and you put in that number for the gradient. The x is the x coordinate value, all right? And we use the y and the x values at some point to work out what other values are, but not in this particular example. We just leave them where they are. And the c value is the y-intercept value, all right, where the graph goes through the y-axis. Okay? And the method states, to find the equations of a line, you must identify two clear points on the graph to work out the gradient. And I've shown you how to work out the gradient in the previous video, or one of the previous videos. If you're not sure how to do it, you have to know how to do it before you watch this, so watch that video first. Use the gradient and substitute it into the m bit of the y equals mx plus c. So use that number that you get for the gradient and put it in where the m is, all right? Look to see where the graph crosses the y-axis and substitute that value into the c part of y equals mx plus c, all right? So using the graph is a relatively simple thing to do, all right? I will zoom into that first one for you and we'll have a look at that. Now, A first, find the equation of line A and then line Z. So line A is going to have an equation of, let's find two values that we can use to work out the gradient. And I've used this example in the, in the finding the gradient video. All right, so I'm going to go from there to there and there to there. All right. Now that is a gradient of 4, all right, because that is a difference of 4 divided by 1, all right? 4 divided by 1 is 4, so the gradient is 4. And then the y-intercept is 0, all right? It actually goes through 0, so you don't actually have to write anything there other than y equals 4x, all right? You could put plus nothing on the end, and that wouldn't actually really matter, but you don't have to put that plus nothing. That's in the form of y equals something x plus or minus something. There's nothing there. Right, that is for A. Okay, let's look at Z. I don't know if you'll be able to see Z and me writing it down. I'll try and write it as high up as possible, probably covering it over. But what I'm going to do again is find the gradient. So I'm going to look at going from the top there of the line down to the bottom here, because I can see they're two clear coordinate values. All right. That difference is 8, that difference is 1, so I've actually got a gradient of 8 divided by 1, all right, which is 8. So y equals 8x, and then I'm going to have to put plus 4 on the end, because that's where it goes through the y-axis. All right, so I did what it said in the method, and I got the answer, I got the equation that I needed. There's the equation of those two different lines, all right. Let's have a look at question number 2. Couple of more complicated examples, or maybe complicated looking examples. Let's get a different color pen to that red one so we're not getting confused. You can allow me to do that or not? It's not playing ball. Being awkward. There we go, we've got a green one. So 2, 5 is a point we could choose here, and I'm going to choose the point down the bottom there, which is 0 minus 1. So going from here to here for line B, all right, I've got a difference there of 6, and I've got a 6 divided by 2 to get the gradient. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So let's write that down. All right, for B, let's get that red pen back because that green is horrible to write in. Can't really see it. So B, line B is, what did I say? 6, so y equals 6x, no, not 6x, 3x right? Because it was 6 divided by 2. 3x minus 1, because it goes through minus 1 on the y-axis. All right, let's have a look at c, because we've got a negative one going on here, negative gradient. So sorry for this absolute mess of writing. Doesn't look good at all, does it? So it's going to be y equals something x plus or minus something. We're going to fill in something here. We're going to fill in something here. All right, let's figure out what those somethings are. So again, if we look at choosing any two coordinates here, let's just choose this one and this one. All right, we know we've got a negative gradient going on, so we could just pop in the negative straight away. All right, and that's going to be 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Okay, so y equals minus 1x. All right, and then it goes through minus 2 on the y-axis. So there we go. There's that. Okay, so I'll zoom out of that for you, and then we'll have a little move over of me. There's me going over, and then we'll have a zoom in to the last one. All right, so find the equations of line D and line E. Now, line D is able to be found by, again, finding the gradient of this line. So if we go down here from these coordinate values here, let's actually choose that one and that one. All right, what we've got there is difference between we've got a difference there between 3.5 and 2.5 of 1, and then 1 divided by 2. So that gradient is a half. So let's write that down for D. All right, we've got D is y equals half x, and then we can see it goes through plus half. So plus a half. All right, now we could write that one as 2y equals x plus 1. All right, that is something we could do because we're multiplying each of the terms through by 2. Right, if it wants it in the form of y equals mx plus c, this does fine, right? But it might want it in the form of a number in front of y. Therefore, we'd have 2y is equal to x plus 1, right? I hope that makes sense. I've just multiplied all the terms through by the 2's that are on the bottom of the fractions on this side. All right. If not, go and watch the algebra videos, all of them. Now the E line, there we go. Let's put E in there. E has an equation of, well, let's find the difference between here and here. Let's put the lines in. So the difference between here and here is 1 whole unit, and the difference between here and here is 6 whole units. So what we've got is the tool that I'm going to put in there. So y is equal to 1 divided by 6. Okay, easiest way to write it, 1/6 of x, and then it goes through 0. So that is literally it for that one. All right, because you don't need to put anything on the end. There you go. I've got 3 different types of questions there where we're using a graph. Not allowing me to zoom out of this one for some reason, not sure why, but that's the video. Sums it up. Finding the equations using the graphs is quite a nice thing to do because we can see where the y-intercept values are. It gets harder than that. There is another video that comes after this one, which will be finding equations of lines when you're using just the coordinate values. That's something I prefer to do. I think it's nicer. But technically harder. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. Please like, subscribe, share, click the link description, do the practice, continue to get better at maths, and just be a wonderful all-round good person. Take care of yourselves. Bye!